Hello. Good day. How's everybody doing? Good, you say? Well, good. I'm doing good too. So, kind of a bleak day today, a little overcast. So, every week we gather together and we chat. We have a conversation, just like friends do. We may or may not agree with one another, but at the end of the day, we're still friends. So, we meet because many people throughout the week talk to me and share with me and they think just like I do, but sometimes we don't share with one another. And so we use this platform to share with one another. And you know what's great is if you don't agree, click out. It's not a big deal. So today we're going to talk about how actions have consequences. Well, no duh. But for many people, we know there are consequences, but we don't think about the consequences. We're more focused on the actions at hand. And sometimes that's a real problem. In the environment that we are of serving older adults, it really is about serving others and their needs. And that's just part of the mission of the Council on Aging is we're a servant agency. Our goal is to serve you. And when you start serving yourself, and I'm the first person to admit for many years, I served myself. There was nobody more important than me. And we don't realize the actions that really follow after we perform those particular actions, and the consequences will follow, or whatever happens as a result of something that we chose to do. Some people will argue, I didn't make a choice to do that. Well, okay, we're not here to debate that today. We're talking about the consequences. 9 times out of 10, those consequences affect other people. And what I try to do here, tickle, is try to take a look at the big picture. And for many people, we're so focused on us and our picture that we neglect the big picture. So I want to make sure that when we do things here at the Council on Aging, that our actions have benefits. And while many people's actions do create benefits, sometimes more so they have consequences. For example, we have people who just struggle with taking responsibility and accountability for their own actions. They want to blame you and me and you and them and her and him. Oh, it just really gets old. And I can remember as a kid, one of the things that my father always drilled into me is that you take responsibility for your actions. You be accountable. And that's always just been in me. And I see in a world nowadays that nobody wants to take responsibility. They always point fingers. Well, I didn't. And if I had to pick, well, there's probably like a dozen pet phrases that drive me bonkers. One of them is, I didn't know. I didn't know. And I've used the example many times. I drive to work the same route every day, and I'm 50 zipping down the road, life is good. And then out of the clear blue, one day, the nerve of a police officer pulls me over and says, Sir, do you know how fast you were going? Well, yeah, I was going 50. Did you know the speed limit was 35? I did not know. So, I don't know. Is that a get out of jail free card? Do we live in the world of Monopoly? Now, that'll be for another day, another argument, because I think we do live in a land of Monopoly where there's money just going everywhere and it has no value and no good. Okay. But if you say you don't know, does that give you the right not to have consequences? I don't know. The law is the law. Are we responsible for knowing the law? I don't know. So when we say things like, I didn't know that was my job, I didn't know I hurt your feelings, I didn't know. It's funny though, when you talk about life and all kinds of things, everybody knows everything until it has consequences. Then we don't know anything. So it's kind of funny to me that the number of people that I cross who tell me, I just didn't know. So is it that you didn't know, you didn't want to know, you didn't try to know? I don't know. So I think today I really want to share the consequences, the bad things that happen because of our actions. You know, when people up and quit without realizing, well, you upset me, so I quit. Okay, sorry, but all the other people that are affected by your quitting dramatically impacts. So when you go around and saying, oh yeah, I'm the good of the whole, and I'm this and I'm that, but your actions don't show that, don't reflect that, I think for many of our seniors, we grew up in a time period where what the most important thing we had was our word. The integrity of what we said was real. The responsibility. Yes, I didn't know that that was the speed limit, but I take responsibility. Yeah, we want to take shortcuts. We don't want the consequences. And oh my goodness. So again, I grew up in a very different time frame, a different era where parents hold their kids accountable. Oh my goodness. Boy, we took responsibility and accountability, and we got the consequences. And I always laugh. I was just telling someone the other day that, you know, when Dad said, this is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me. What? Wait, this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. Yeah, I'm the recipient of the consequences of my actions. Trust me, it's not hurting my dad because my rear end was the one getting the consequences. But we knew there were consequences. And I think we live in a world today where there's just no consequences for people's individual actions. Yeah, I'll just get a slap on the wrist, or someone will say, don't do that, Johnny. I'm not advocating anything. I'm just saying that there aren't consequences for actions anymore. It's free reign. Do whatever. Hey, here's your Monopoly get out of jail free card. Take 4 steps back, and here's $200 for going backwards. Many people talk to me about that. And I'm all for just being accountable, being responsible for my actions, because I'm the only one I can control. Sometimes I'm out of control. So this weekend, as you're mulling around and wondering, why does this always happen to me? Did you ever think maybe it was your actions and what's happening to you are just the consequences? Maybe you might need to change your actions. If I change my actions, then maybe the consequences will be changed, or there won't be any. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just an old guy here at the Council on Aging, here to meet your needs. So go out, take responsibility, be accountable. Don't live in consequences. Live in the joy of the great choices that you make. This has just been Rich. Rich, see, that's my little frame saying peace out.